Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for October 10th of 2025 is titled 50 Light Years to 51 Pegasi. So what do we see here? Well, here we see an image of the sky over an observatory dome, and this is actually the observatory where an important discovery was made 30 years ago, and that was back in October of 1995 when we discovered the first planet orbiting a star that is like our own sun. So an actual star and not a remnant of a dead star, which is how the first couple of planetary systems were discovered. And that was very important as it was really our first discovery of an exoplanet, or a planet outside our solar system, and something that was orbiting a star. Now, what we see here is that is noted in the sky. We see a couple of other things. We see two galaxies noted out to the left. That's M31 and M33, also known as the Andromeda Galaxy and the Triangulum Galaxy, respectively. We see a planet within our own solar system known as Saturn, and that's just down to the right of the observatory dome. And up above, we see 51 Pegasi. And that is the star that has a planet orbiting it. Now, this is also an unusual planet in that it was very different than anything we had known of before, which of course were the planets in our solar system. This was a planet about half the mass of Jupiter, so a gas giant planet comparable to Jupiter and Saturn in our own solar system. However, it was determined that its orbital period around its star was only a little over 4 days. Now, if we think about that, Jupiter has an orbital period of about 12 years. Saturn in our solar system has an orbital period of 30 years. So 4 days is much less than the orbital period of even Mercury. So this planet orbits a lot closer to its star than Mercury does to our sun. And that gave it the name that is now used of what is called a hot Jupiter. In other words, a Jupiter-like planet, a very large planet, orbiting extremely close to its star. Now, we find that these are visible, and we found a good number of these over the last 30 years. And in fact, we have now reached a total of 6,000 planets as of last month that have been confirmed by NASA as planets outside our solar system. So that number will continue to grow as we find more and more. And we're finding that there are a good number of hot Jupiters, that this just isn't a one-time unusual detection. Although this type of planet is much easier to detect than, say, an Earth-like planet. First of all, it's very easy to detect deviations where the planet is large, so that helps. It also is very easy to detect deviations where a planet is very close to its star. A shorter period makes detection easier because you don't have to wait as long to be able to confirm the variations that we see. So if we want to see those for 51 Pegasi and we want to wait and make sure and confirm 10 orbital periods, that takes about 40 days or about a month and a half here on Earth. If we wanted to do that for Jupiter going around our sun and we wanted to see 10 orbital periods, we would be waiting 120 years to be able to get that number of orbital periods. So it's much easier to find and confirm this type of planet. But it was a very big discovery and known as 51 Pegasi b, or finally known as Dimidium, as the name for Latin word for half. And that was again the first planet to be discovered outside our own solar system that orbited a star like our sun. So that was our picture of the day for October 10th of 2025. It was titled 51 Light Years to 51 Pegasi. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture. So until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.